Yeah, my partner's not touching.
So I heard you guys talk a little bit about these playoff scenarios. What's your understanding of it right now as far as what you guys' position is after that win?
I don't think none of us have understanding of what's going to happen with the playoffs. We just did what we had to do.
Do you think, I heard mumblings of possibly expanding to 16. Anything about that?
We just throwing ideas around because how else they going to do it? If they go to the points, we were just trying to, count up the points. But then we hearing rumblings about they might try to expand it to get more teams in.
I think they should. They'll probably have you go to like a point thing. I know you guys probably watched the game last week with Nate Robinson, the game winning three-pointer. He got fouled, but he didn't shoot the free throws afterwards because the game ended.
Right.
I would argue that there have been a couple of scenarios like that this season where there was a foul on the last shot, but the game just ended. So there's points that are kind of left on the floor there.
Yeah, and there's also teams that we've beat that are ahead of us that we have the tiebreaker with, but we don't have more points than. So that's the other discrepancy in this. So you could have beat a team like if we beat
Killer Threes.
we beat the Killer Threes, but they have more points than us. If we had the same record, how the tiebreaker now goes by points and not the actual win is where I'm kind of confused.
Right. You make a good point too. Like how would they do that? How would you count points when there's been points left out on the board when the game's over? So that's something they got to figure out.
I have a question. How do you do top 6 teams in the playoffs? The first two get a bye week.
Then you have an extra week. You have to have an extra week.
And they're not doing that. So.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Let's see.
And it should be interesting. I mean, Rick got down towards like end of the season and all those teams were logged in with the same record. I was kind of like,
Yeah.
it was looking a little murky then. But going forward, if the league does not expand next year to include more teams, how would you suggest they go about it so we don't end up in this same position again? Would you suggest 2 divisions? Because there's a lot of teams. You guys don't play everybody.
I think it needs to be an odd week. It needs to be an extra week at it. Playoffs shouldn't be 2 weeks if it's this many teams. I think it should at least be 3 weeks, to where now you can have the first 2 seeds, top seeds, have a bye.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And then they don't play that first week, and then they'll play the second week and the third week if they advance. So I think playoffs should be 3 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Just talking about the playoff format in itself, we hear how competitive it's been. Do you all believe that each season the Big Three has gotten competitive year in and year out?
Absolutely. We kind of joked about if we didn't expand and add these teams, how stacked each team would be this year. I mean, can you imagine Power with Joe Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Or, I think it would be more condensed and compressed, and I think the talent in the games would be that much tougher. But you starting to see these roster spots starting to fill up with a lot of talent, so that's good. But I think right now we're at a good number where the league's at.
Have you seen some of the guys, some of the first year come in this year, and then they think the Big Three is a bit easier, they think it's a lot easier than what they thought. Then when they come in, you see them struggling. Have you noticed some of that with some different players?
Yeah. I mean, from all the hoopla leading up to the season, we all followed Gilbert Arenas, and he was a guy that was outspoken about how well he might perform or his team will perform. And this is new to me, my first year, and I got caught by surprise because I thought it was gonna be a cakewalk, and it's not that. So I think a lot of the new guys have gotten caught by surprise.
Yeah, and there's a few other dudes I know too. I don't want to call them out, but I ain't what I do to my guys. But I know they thought, they're on their team group chats and they like this gonna be easy, man. When I get out there, and then when they get out there, it's a different game. You know what I'm saying? They used to the refs blowing the whistle in the NBA and running up and down and everything right there. They can let them calls go when somebody push on you, you go to the rim, and now they can't get their shot off.
What about you, Andre? How do you feel about that?
Like they said, but this game is different, and it's not as sweet as they thought it was. Because on offense, you have to have a package, and then on defense, you have to be able to sit out and play defense without help sometimes. And 5-on-5, you can kind of hide on defense and play in the system on offense. But here, it's like you got to have something. So a lot of guys, I guess they thought it was going to be like 5-on-5, you can hide a little bit, but you can't. 9-3.
Appreciate that.
Andre, I had a chance to stop by your kicks and cuts and my phone died. But anyway, do you want to talk to, I guess, everybody else in the room kind of about what you did this week in the community? Because I know a lot of people don't really know, they're not aware. So I thought it was a really dope event yesterday. Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, man, we started early in the week, went and spoke to some schools, some boys and girls clubs. Then later, well, the next day we did Feed the Homeless. Myself and Josh Howard, our foundations teamed up and fed the homeless. And then later that evening, we did a camp based in the Latino neighborhood, so it's a lot of Latino kids who love basketball just like we do, but don't have the opportunity to practice. So we got to for them, had a camp. What else we do? We did so much this week. It was a free camp, so it was a free camp. Again, Josh Howard assisted in that. Then we did the Kicks and Cuts. Kicks and Cuts was held in Oak Cliff where I was born and raised. We did free haircuts, free shoes, free food, back to school supplies. We provided entertainment and speaking is interacted with. Some of my basketball buddies came by, football buddies came by, boxing people came by so the kids can rub shoulders, see them, and take pictures. Yeah.
Drew did some stuff today too.
What you do today?
That's good stuff, fellas.
Yeah, I went to.
You guys gotta share this
I was
stuff
in
with
South,
people.
South Dallas. I got a guy named Jason Washington who I went to high school with, a very good friend of mine. He moved here in Dallas after he was shot, and he made this his second home. And I wanted to help him out. He wanted to do a backpack giveaway for the kids. I believe it was at Martin Luther King Recreation Center in South Dallas. So we popped up there early. They had games for the kids. I spoke to them about how important school was and why we getting you guys backpacks. And if you want to be successful, this is the recipe and these are the steps you have to follow. So, I'm not from Dallas. I played here 1 year, but whenever I have the opportunity to speak in the community to help kids or the youth, I try to make it a point. So along with Mark Gray, he came over here today with me and gave out backpacks, talked to the kids. It was a good turnout of the tournament event. Yeah.
And just to add to that, of course, we play basketball in different cities, but another cool thing the Big Three does is the players, we get out in every community, every city, we get out and try to touch kids,